I walk onto set, I get utmost respect, because so much of what is going to happen is on my shoulders. That's a pro and a con. So much of the reliance of the film is on your shoulders. That's a good and a bad thing. And the producer's running to me to make sure I'm fine. The production assistant is running to me after a new coffee. Whoever's doing this, it's whoever. So it's cool, yes, it's cool. Director gets there. You are the director. You're the director of this.
Get paid higher than that.
Directors are God on set. Directors are God on set. I make more money than a lot of directors because I work more.
Mm-hmm.
But per day, director gets paid more. Directors are on a project longer than I am. Mm-hmm. For 4 weeks, I move on to the next project. Mm-hmm. They're still busy with that film. I'm getting paid on other projects. Mm-hmm. So directors get paid more money, but they do less work. So on commercials, for instance, directors get paid childish money. Childish. The big directors in South Africa on commercials can easily walk away from a commercial with 400,000 per commercial. He can easily shoot 2 commercials a month. He can easily make 800,000 a month. Effective. You need to be able to communicate with your gaffer, with your grip, with your focus puller, with your director. Effectively. You also need to be able to listen to your director, because that influences what you do after that. You do that because often there's no time for you to keep trying. Keep trying. You must know what's going to work, what's not going to work. Set is not a place where you practice. It's people's money. It's the producer's money. So pre-production assists you a lot. Director's treatments assist you a lot because it gives you their vision. So 200, this is 200 millimeters in a smaller area, right? The bigger the hole, it's reading light in a wider area. Make sense? So, for 3 seconds and it closes. The amount of light that goes into your eye when it's open for 3 seconds is much more than the amount of light that goes into your eye if you do this. You understand? That determines the sensitivity of the camera. The higher the ISO, the higher that number, the more sensitive it is. That means the more light it can let in. So now we're speaking about a film plane, or we're speaking about a chip. Digital cameras have a chip. So yes, lens, light comes through. Here, there's aperture, light is going through that hole, and then it hits a chip that's recording the information that has gone through here. That chip has different sensitivity levels, and you can set those sensitivity levels anything from 50 ISO. I remember old school when we used to use film stills cameras. When you buy film at Clicks or wherever you used to buy that film, it used to have 2 numbers on it. The one number used to be either 24 or 36. That's how many photographs you can take. Then there was a number. Then there was another number. It would either be 100 or it would be 200 or 400. That was the sensitivity of that film. If you're going to be shooting at night you want to get one that's written 400 because you need more sensitivity.
When you
I want it brighter, I want it brighter.
Oh.
Here, I want it darker, I want it darker. I want it darker. Stills lens. It's meant for stills. It's meant for stills photography, even though I can use it in a motion camera. But the motion cameras, the film cameras, and the film lenses are PL mounts. And the lenses, it's always going to be a PL mount, except if the cameras come from a company called Panavision. And Panavision have their own standard, and that's PV mount. And they have their own lenses too. And their lenses, you need a PV mount. So if you're gonna get a lens from somewhere else, but you're gonna get a Panavision camera, it's not gonna work. The hole can open to 1.4. That lens, the hole opens to 1.4. The long zoom lens, the hole can only open to 2.8. 1.4, 2.8, 4, 5.6, 8, 11, 16, whatever. Your ISO obviously affects it in the broader scale because it's the sensitivity. So if your ISO is low, you're not going to be able to get those light streaks because it's not sensitive enough. So you're not going to see anything regardless. But if your ISO is really high and very sensitive, and your aperture is wide open, where you're getting enough light, you can either still get those light streaks or not get those light streaks, depending on where you set your aperture, your shutter. Determine whether you can film.
Okay.
You need to be collaborative. You need to be able to think on your feet. Think quick. Because on set, every new scene is going to create a new problem that you are required to fix in a very short space of time. There's a saying we always say is, God hates filmmakers. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. If in a movie I get sent a script, I read the script, okay, cool. I mean, I mentioned this yesterday. I read the script, okay, cool, I like it. Then I call the director calls me once I've read the script, and they say, okay, cool, what do you think? I'm like, yeah, I like it. He tells me, he or she tells me, I'll then ask for references. I'll say, okay, cool, I read your script. What's the mood? What's the feeling? What's the tone of the film? And then he'll send me references. She'll send me references. I'm going to send you some stuff too that I'm seeing. So I start sharing images or video clips or whatever to the director. If it's scene specific, or if it's an overall mood for the film, or if it's character specific. Sometimes you want to treat a specific character a certain way throughout the film. In Normal People, they treated those two characters a specific way. They weren't shot the same way other characters in the film were shot. So the director and the DOP had that conversation. That cool, we're going to treat them differently because they're in their own world. And tell that story visually. One should be able to look at your images without dialogue and still be able to tell the story.